Hello folks. I asked for questions, you gave me questions. Right, let's crack on, because we've got plenty of questions to get through. So let's start from the bottom with Luke. What's the travel plan then? Where are you heading? I mean, there isn't a plan. There's never a plan. I don't like plans, they're boring. There's two things that are planned. One is I'm waiting here or around here until the 5th of November for my friend to come over. So when she gets here, be slowly working back down towards Chamonix again. And then I'm not sure how long I'm going to stay there, but got a little bit of work in Chamonix, so I'm going to do that for a bit and then see what happens after that. Maybe Portugal, maybe Greece, I don't know. Don't have an answer for that. Just have to sort of see what happens. Winging it's always the best way. Next, Revo. How are you going to have income? Not sure yet. Figure it out. Still early days. I got that bit of work and that will top me up. But then after that, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Should people try off-grid lifestyle? I mean, yes. It's just an absolute beast way to live, to be honest. Is it cool to live in so small apartment? I'm used to it now. It's not for everybody. I'll say that it's not for everyone. You gotta have the right mindset, I guess, to be able to do it. But for me, like, I'm not small. I'm 6 foot bang on, and it doesn't feel small for me in here. Yeah, it feels normal. I mean, like, even the bed, there's not a lot of space up there, but it just feels fine for me. I don't know, but like I say, it's not for everyone. So if you're going to build a van out, obviously design it in a way that works around you, I guess. Do you have a computer set up in your Iveco? Yes, I do. I will go through everything properly. Like I said, each part I'm going to make a little mini video for each bit. But yeah, there's a full-on computer in here now rather than just a laptop. You've got the monitor here that feeds through into the back. You've got a desktop tower. So yeah, that's it's pretty cool. How long will you be travelling for? Again, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that, I'm afraid. How about Patreon, Ash? You give us a lot of entertainment, which I for one would be happy to pop a few quid in each month. Roy. I don't know. I mean, I did think about, I know what Patreon is, and I did think about it, but I thought about sort of uploading the little bits of the van on there. I don't know. I like the idea, obviously, but I wouldn't want people to just give me money. You know what I mean? Because that's a bit weird. I'd want to give something in return, maybe. So yeah, I need to have a think about it and see what I can figure out. Because like I say, I don't just want to be given money for nothing, like, because I mean that's basically begging, isn't it? I don't want to do that. But yeah, I'll think about it, see what I can come up with. Vince, oh, that's a big one. Techie side, any new gadgets? There's lots of gadgets. Any plans to connect these to your PC, the cameras? Yeah, the PC's still in. No, they have their own monitor up there, so there's no real need to connect them to the computer. With the cameras, I don't have them for like recording, because there's no point. I'm not fussed about that. The reason I have the cameras is so, like, when I'm in here at night or whatever, or even during the day, like if I hear something, or if someone bangs on the van or whatever, I can just look at the screen rather than being like, what the hell was that, and trying to peek out the windows and all of this. I can just look at that. There's a 360 view of the whole van, and then I know straight away like what's cracking. It's just peace of mind, really, isn't it? Just easier. What happened to the French lady you met? Coco, that's her name, or Coralie. Well, obviously I went back to England and then I got stuck there. And she's like back and forth between France and England all the time with her job. So I'm sure we'll meet up again once I get back down to Chamonix. In fact, there's no doubt we'll meet up again and go for another beer. So it'll be cool to see the changes, the roof deck. Roof deck won't get as much use in the winter months. I wouldn't be so sure of that. Yeah, it's going to be cold, but it's still cool. So, further south you go, the nicer the weather will be. Any ideas on further destinations? Spain, Portugal, perhaps? Yeah, maybe. Like I say, Portugal, probably. Either Portugal or Greece. It's going to be one of the two. I'm not sure. I've already been to Spain and Portugal. But I know for a fact, like, south of Portugal is going to be not particularly warm, but it's going to be an okay climate for the rest of winter. With Greece, I'm not too sure about. I'm sure it's quite warm as well, but I don't know. I've got no plans yet. I need to have a look and make a decision. You know me, like, if I make plans, I'll wake up one morning and be like, I'm doing this, and it's completely different, and I'll just go. That's just how I am. I can't help that. As far as working out there, freelancer.com and other such sites might help you out. Apart from that, what's your strategy for finding work? Again, I'm not sure yet. There's plenty of options. I mean, like you say, local papers asking around. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. See when the time comes. I mean, right now I'm not overly bothered because I'm not staying up here. Obviously once I get further down south, I could probably have more of a think about what I'm going to do work wise. Obviously I'm doing this whole thing on the cheap at the minute, as you know. I've been here, when did I get over here? I left England Tuesday night, didn't I? So I got here Wednesday morning. It's now Friday. I've not spent a penny. So obviously the more I drive, the more fuel I'm going to use, but yeah, see how it goes, pretty much. But I'm trying to not spend if I can help it, make it last as long as possible. Starting to realise, still reading your comment, Vince, starting to realise it will never be finished, so just need to suck it up and make a move. My van's not finished. Yeah, my van my van isn't finished. You're right, it will never be finished. I mean, it's fine as it is, but you're always going to have ideas. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. You know, you'll be doing something one day and think, oh, I could do it slightly better if I changed this, or, you know, whatever. You want to buy something new. It's just how it is. That's the whole thing. It's a hobby at the end of the day, isn't it? As well, you know, it's not just like living in the van, having the accommodate. Like, it's a hobby. You're constantly fiddling with it and changing it. That's just part of it. So you might as well saddle up and get ready for the long run, because it's never going to end, mate. Also a quick idea for the new vids: when you find these cool places, can you drop their location in the description? I mean, I can do. Normally I put them like at the start of the video, obviously in the title bit it comes up at the bottom where I am at that point and stuff. I suppose when I go to, say like today, I've moved from where I was, come to this spot. But normally I stay overnight anyway, and then on the next video, the title, like where I start, where it comes up at the bottom, that'll be where I am. So normally that's like how I do it. But yeah, all coming together. Good on you, thank you. Nathan Smith: I'm in the process of converting on Iveco Daily at the moment. If you was to do the conversion again, is there anything you'd do different or wish you'd done at the time? I don't know really. I think personally I've utilised the space in this van pretty much as well as it can be, you know. I mean, obviously I wish I had more headroom in the bed, like, it's just how it is, but if I drop the bed there'll be less room in the garage, and I don't know if the compromise is worth it, because obviously storage is at a premium in a van. Like, you're never going to have enough, especially if you're living in it like full time. Storage is always going to be the number one priority, because you don't want like shit rolling around in the van everywhere, because that's no good for anyone. So I think I did have the idea with the bed area. Before I built the roof deck, I thought about actually raising the whole roof. So just on this bed section, I was going to cut the whole thing out, raise it up a bit, and then put a top on it again. But yeah, anyway, then I decided to build the roof deck, which I think is a better option personally, because raising the roof would have given me a bit more space in bed, but adding the roof deck gives me a whole nother story to the van. So like I can go outside now, stand up on the roof. So I don't know, maybe it'd be one for the future. What else we got? Cool, this is a long one, Jazz 60. I'll just skim over it. Good to see you back at it, thank you. I was waiting for that surprise video of you on the ferry, and boom, yep. That's how I do things, you see, just bang. My thoughts were you were hooked up with your ex and forgot about van life for a while. Are you still in touch? No, we're not in touch. We're not in touch. That didn't happen. No, I saw her once when she collected some things, but that was it. So maybe you got a job while you're back in England and got trapped in the rat race. I couldn't be any further from the rat race, my friend. I'm well aware of what it is and how you get sucked into it. And if I was the kind of person that was happy to do that, I probably wouldn't be sat here right now, if we're honest. So, on the logbook, tell us more about this. I'm not sure what the issue was. What's the logbook for insurance? No. So the logbook, if you're not from England, logbook is like the vehicle registration document. So it's got all the details, like the chassis number, reg, whatever, colour. So the problem I had was I changed the colour from white to green, as you know, and then I left. So because I did it a few days before I left in the summer, and I thought, screw it, like I'm just going to go, whatever. But while I was out here, I did some research, and you can actually get in some serious shit for having the wrong colour on there. To the point, I think worst case scenario is the French police can actually impound your van. Like if they're not happy with the paperwork, or say if they get pulled over and they lose their heads, then worst case the van's getting impounded, and basically then I'm homeless in France, which I mean I'm just not going to let that happen, am I? Because that would be ridiculous. So I had to go and change it. And the problem is, what happened, logbooks normally, so I've had, I think, roughly about 50 motorbikes in my life, all registered, like, to me, and then a few cars and vans and stuff as well, and every single one of them has never took more than 4 weeks to arrive. It says 4 to 6 weeks on the logbook, so you have to send it off to DVLA, that's like the driving vehicle license agency, I think it is. That's where you send it, they change it, they send it you back, you have to do it in the post. So it's 4 to 6 weeks, and yeah, it's never took more than 4 weeks before. So I sent it off the day that I got back. Waited for, I think I waited for 7 weeks. Because it says 4 to 6 weeks, I thought, well, I better give it till like the 6 weeks. And I waited another week just in case. Still nothing. So I called them, and they had no record of it ever getting to their place. So basically, it got lost in the post, which was, realistically, it was my fault because I didn't send it tracked, which was stupid. For such an important thing that I really needed, I just sent it in normal first class post and I didn't send it tracked. So yeah, it got lost. Obviously there's nothing you can do about it then. So once it got lost, I then had to apply for a new logbook. I had to buy a new one because I'd lost it, and I called the DVLA and I was like, look, can I just put, when I buy this new one, can I just put the new colour on there, like do it that way, rather than like getting a new logbook back with white, then having to send it off again to change it as green. So they said, yeah, that's fine, no problem, you can do that. So I did that, put green on it, sent it off, first class, tracked, got there, and then within, when was it, about 3 weeks later ish, 2-3 weeks, it came back and it had white on it. So oh, I'm fuming. I've just been talking for about 10 more minutes and the camera had gone off. Yeah, so it came back with white on it, and I'd absolutely lost my head. I rang them up, I was like, what the f-? You know, so like, oh no, sorry, like, it was an internal mistake. They were like, well, it's okay, we'll send you out another one, obviously free of charge. Like, damn right, it's free of charge. You know, and that took another 3 weeks to come. So all in all, I was stuck there for about 80 days, I think it was ish, waiting for the bloody logbook. So that's that. On the van, could you give us internal dimensions? You can, I think mine is 15 cubic meters, I believe, but you can find it on Google. Pros and cons, Iveco Daily. Remind us how much your base van cost. The base van was £1,000. Would not recommend buying one for £1,000. Just don't. I had so much work to do. I mean, if you're competent welding, fixing rust and stuff, then yeah, but because there was a hell of a lot. But if not, I won't bother. Spend a bit more and give it a good check underneath. The main thing is that the ladder chassis, this is why this van's so good, because the body sits on top of a ladder. It's a separate chassis. So if the body rusts, it's not the end of the world, you can just patch it up. That's what I did. But if the actual frame is done, then obviously, you know, stay away from it. But mine wasn't in too bad nick, and I think that is actually because it had such a massive oil leak at the front. It just smeared it all over the chassis and protected it. So, you know, silver linings and all that. So yeah, I mean, that, and it's massive and it's a beast, like, pretty much. I love it. How to buy vans, what to look out for. I mean, it like, again, it's just common sense with the rust. Obviously other vans are different when they have, is it a unibody? I'm not sure, where the actual body of the van is part of the chassis kind of thing. If they start to rust, then obviously it's more of a major problem than this one. You can't just patch it, like, you need to do it properly. It needs to all be structural. And yeah, speaking about insurance, how are you insured? No, it's not. It's no different to insuring anything else, to be honest. I mean, obviously you have to, once you've finished your build, you have to re-register it as a motorhome to be able to get motorhome insurance. But like, when I first bought this van, I had it. I just got normal van insurance, which is commercial insurance, and that cost about £1,200–1,300 for the year, which is a lot. Considering now I've re-registered it as a motorhome. I renewed it just before I left this time, and it's £200, or just over, like £204 for the year. So it's a big old difference. The van you saw burnt out in the mountains, did you ever find out what happened to that? No idea, mate. No idea. All I know is I never want that to happen to me. Simple things. Got 2 smoke alarms in here, 2 fire extinguishers, turn the gas off when you're not in the van, and that's about all you can do really to save, you know, disconnecting all your electrics and stuff every time you leave, which I'm not going to do. But yeah, that's obviously just an unfortunate accident, you know. feel for them. Moving on, your friend, she seems really lovely. Is she a bit shy about appearing in your videos? Do you ever see yourself being more than friends? Yeah, I mean, I think it's weird for anyone, you know, being on camera to start with. I'm not just going to go and shove a camera in someone's face who isn't used to it, because it's kind of intimidating, I guess. And more than friends, I mean, we are just really good friends. Like, I've known her for years. We've only sort of become really good friends in the last year or so, because she's been off at university and stuff. But yeah, just good friends. She needs a name. Her name's Marie. I don't know if I've mentioned it before. I'm not sure, but you'll be seeing a lot more of her in the coming months, because we're going to be convoying together. So, you know, like, she'll be in the videos. You'll see her. And the dog, Lil Bolsky, that's his name. Tell us more about your photography. While you were away, I searched you on Facebook to see what you were up to, and noticed you did nightclub photography. That's a bit stalky, that is. Yeah, you're right. So I work in nightclubs and bars, and I also do the odd festival here and there. I've done all sorts of bits, but my main bread and butter has always been nightclubs and bars. By that, I do a bit of everything. So I work at night, obviously. That's why I'm so dead now, because I've just been out working and stuff for the last few weeks and feeling about 30 years older at the minute. But what I do is I do the nighttime things. So obviously taking pictures of the customers and the bar staff, the DJs, all that kind of stuff, just showing the whole night. So I do that side of it, and then obviously with the bars and things, I also do like the food photography for the menus and whatever, drinks for promotions. Mainly what I do is all the stuff for the social media side, so like Instagram, Facebook posts. It's all like advertisement kind of thing. But yeah, it's cool. Like, I love it. I do love what I do, but I love travelling more. So travelling sort of wins. It'd be good if I could find a way to do both at the same time. So I'm probably going back to the work thing, I'm probably going to see if I can slide my way into a few nightclubs while I'm out here, because that'd be ideal, wouldn't it? Sort of hopping from city to city, work for a night or two, and yeah, I don't know, see what happens. I mean, if you want to see any more of that, so you can look at there's more of those kind of pictures on my website if you want a better idea. It's just www.ashpollard.org. Yeah, I've got like pictures from obviously the clubs and stuff on there, and festivals and things. If you're interested and you want a better idea of what I do, tell us more about how you got building skills. Pretty handy DIY mechanical wise. I was a motorbike mechanic for a few years, and then from that I've always been like handy and taking things apart and stuff ever since I was young. I think some people are, some people aren't. Depends what you're interested in, doesn't it? But yeah, I was a bike mechanic, and then I worked for a while in like kitchen and bathroom companies. Started helping out, and then built trust, and I ended up helping out fitting them and all sorts, just bits and bobs. You just pick up skills along the way. But I've never had any kind of training. Like, I mean, this to you guys on video, this probably looks all perfect and polished, but it's not. Like, most of it's pretty crap, if I'm honest, in terms of the finish. Nothing's like perfectly straight or anything like that, but don't really bother me, because it does the job and it's not falling apart. So as long as it does that, I don't really care. But yeah, I am by no means some like artisan woodworker or something. I'm just a guy who likes DIY, pretty much. Steve OBE. I'm heading back from Croatia at the moment. slowly making our way to France. We've been out here since the 2nd, in Germany tonight. I really don't want to go back to England, but same predicament, low cash flow. You planning on staying out for a while if you sort some work? I mean, I actually want to go to Croatia. That was the original plan that I was going to do in the summer. I was going to be in Chamonix and then go into Italy and then go round to Croatia, but it sort of went tits up, didn't it? So I'll be getting there at some point. I'll hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be staying out here for quite a long time now, if all goes well, and if I can find some money. But you know, I'm sort of in the mindset of, well, if I can find work in England, then there's no reason why I can't find work here. So we'll see what happens. Vantor. Simon Bannister. I mean, I think there's enough Vantors on this channel, if we're honest. There's about 4. But yeah, so what about a little mini episode within each video showing one model or something about your van each time, like one each day? Well, what I plan on doing is I'm going to run a separate mini series alongside the travel videos. I don't know, I'll just call it the Beast or something, and just do like one bit of it each time, basically. So that'll be running at the same time. So like maybe one day if I don't do much, like yesterday for example, I did call, so I could post like one of those videos instead, or I'll post 2 a day, or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna run it side by side basically, but they will be labelled, so don't get confused which one's which. Then bloody shoes, clogs. Yeah, referring to the tap shoes, I guess. Hey man, I have a question. Are you still running the fridge box? Are you running it off the second battery setup constantly? Does it kill the battery sharpish? I'm toying with the idea of connecting mine to the solar panel charger switch. This was one bugbear I had when travelling the last 3 months. Had to have an electric to save the gas. So far, we're doing alright. The batteries are quite a bit juicier than the old ones I had. I think I've got 480 amp hours of power in there now. But if there's no sun, which there's not right now, then obviously they're gonna run out. Like, is what it is. So the way that I've got the fridge set up is I'm not running it off 12 volt. I'm running it off 240. So I've got the inverter on 24/7 at the minute. Now the thinking behind that is the inverter doesn't use too much juice when it's not actually powering anything, because it's going nowhere. And if you run the fridge on 240 volts, it uses the compressor thing. So basically, it uses more power than on 12, but once it gets to temperature, it turns off. Whereas on 12 volts, it's just running constantly. I think on 12 it uses, electrostatic or something, I don't know. I know nothing about fridges. But whatever it does, it's always on. And it gets hot as well. Like, around the fridge gets warm when you run it on the 12 volt. Whereas, so on the 240, it comes on for a couple of minutes if it needs to bring the temperature back down again by a degree or something, and then it cuts out again. And like, sometimes it'll be off and I won't hear it for hours, and then it'll just pop on again and go off. So far, that's been the best, most efficient way I can do it. Another thing you can do, so obviously mine's a chest freezer, a chest fridge, which helps because then every time you open the lid, so with the door one, you open the door and all the cold air pisses out, and then it's got to cool down again. Whereas with the chest, if you have the door on the top and you open it slowly as well, so it doesn't all suck out when you open it, then I think a lot of the temperature stays in there. Another thing you can do is keep it loaded. I've got like 5 big 2 litre bottles of water in there as well, because obviously once they cool down they stay cold. So it keeps everything else cold. It keeps the temperature down in there. If you have it empty, or just a few bits in there, it's going to be having to work harder to maintain the temperature because there's nothing in there holding that temperature. I mean, these are all the little bits that I've read and learnt over time, and so far it seems to be working pretty well. But yeah, it used to, obviously now as well, it's winter, so you know it's going to be better, it's going to be more efficient because it's colder in there, especially in the garage. It's colder in there than it is in here. But yeah, so I just got to see how it goes pretty much, like, see how we get along. That was Alistair. Richard, great to see you back on the road again. I'm in the process of painting my van and have a couple of questions. How much difference to heat gain have you noticed between the green paint job and the white? There is a bit, and I've painted the roof black, so you know, kind of worst case scenario. It is a bit warmer, I did notice it, but you just open that window, open the hatch, or both the hatches, and like soon cools down. It doesn't really matter. The trade-off for it looking how I want it to look is worth it, so I don't really care. How much? I said that already. Was sorting the DVLA a pain in the arse? No, the actual process was easy, but it was just, you know, a nightmare. Like I said, getting lost in the post and all that kind of stuff. Again, also interested in how your new batteries cope. Yeah, so far it's been alright. Like I said, I am going to go through everything, all the little bits and the new stuff I've done. But I upgraded the batteries, and I've also got another solar panel on the roof now, so I've got another 100 watts up there. I would like to have another one of the, like, if I didn't have the roof deck, I would have bought another big panel like what I've got on the front, but obviously I've not got the space, so we'll see how we get on. For now, yeah, I think that's all of them pretty much. Yeah, hopefully that's cleared a few things up for you all with a bit of luck. But yeah, I mean, if you have questions, you know, just stick them in the videos. I always try and answer all the comments as best I can. Now I've got my internet, I should have access more often, hopefully. I don't really know what I'm going to do about that yet. Obviously I've got an English SIM card in there at the moment, so when the time comes, whether I'll get a French one or what, I don't know. Just take it as it comes, pretty much. Obviously I've got my Wi-Fi booster up there as well now, so if I can get near a McDonald's or something, I can steal their internet, even though it was pretty crap when I tried to upload from there before, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, so I'm going to go get back on with my day now. I think I'm going to do some fishing, but we'll see. Right, I'll catch you in a bit.